I think y'all know what time it is. Ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, a bit rusty. Welcome to the show! I am your host, Andrew Illy! And this is the ball of motherfucking trout, man. Episode 28! Thank you very much for joining me. Wherever you are around the world. Wherever you are, you silly motherfuckers. Thank you very much again for joining me. Man, I'm going to get straight into this one. Cristiano Ronaldo. Man, so much has been going on with him in the news as of late for obvious reasons. And we're going to get into it right now. Man, it's amazing to me how people have so quickly turned their back on this man, Cristiano Ronaldo. Fans as well, like Manchester United fans and Cristiano fans. It's incredible. Let's wind the clocks back a year. Last season, Manchester United had one of the worst ever seasons in our club's history. Fact. We finished 7th. Or God knows what, 6th, I don't know. Barely made the Europa League, man. There was one bright spot, and that was Cristiano Ronaldo. He signed for the club again. Scored 25 goals, man, at the age of 36. Worked his fucking ass off. Absolutely worked his ass off, and still does to this day. It's just the sentiment of the human being. The club was in a very dark spot, man. Before we signed Erik ten Hag, Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't happy with the direction of the club. Wasn't happy with a lot of things at the club. There was a lot of negativity and a lot of bad things happening, and the direction of where the club was going. He just wanted to play Champions League football, and we did not make the Champions League last season. Therefore, he wanted to leave, especially with the World Cup coming up, which will ultimately be his last one. The guy just wants the best because he is the best. Anyway, which brings me to that intro. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And that's what's happening, man. At the beginning of the season, this season, 22-23, Cristiano Ronaldo wanted to transfer away because of all the stuff I just mentioned. I had no problem with this at all, man. Let the man do what he needs to do. He has nothing left to prove, especially to United. I mean, he's given us everything. And reports said that if he wasn't to find a club after this transfer request, that he would happily come back and he would stay. Now, he didn't find another club, we know that, and he missed the whole preseason, and a lot of that was due to the loss of his baby and family and personal reasons. It's a massive mental tragedy to deal with, man. And of course, obviously not landing in a new destination, he just needed time away. It did not work out, and he returned to Old Trafford without a pre-season. Fair enough. Needs to work at it, get fit again, because pre-season's massive, let's be real. Regardless, in 13 matches so far this season, in the EPL alone, just the EPL, Ronaldo has started 3 times. And against Manchester City, he did not come on at all. And in that game, we were down 4-0 at halftime. A lot of feelings had built up every week because of this. a whole build-up of the season so far and working towards getting into the squad. And it feels like Ronaldo was on the edge, man. Like a ticking time bomb of frustration and confusion. And you can see it now. Every week he would grow increasingly disappointed and upset. And throughout his whole career, he's never dealt with anything like this. The guy's 37 years old. This is all new to Ronaldo, to Cristiano Ronaldo. You have to try and understand that, where he is coming from. In that Man City game, after the game, Erik ten Hag said to the media, he didn't want to disrespect Cristiano Ronaldo by bringing him on in what looked to be like an unrealistic result coming from behind. I found that to be quite baffling, and I didn't agree with that. I mean, I would have loved for Ronaldo to come on at 4-0 down, and I'm sure Ronaldo would have wanted to come on. It's a Manchester derby. He's got the experience. He's got all the football experience in the world, and the guy just wants to play. So I found that very weird, man. Ronaldo scored against Everton the other week, his 700th goal. Everything was all good. He was happy. He's been playing well up until that goal. He just could not score before that. He was struggling a few times to hit the back of the net. But he was playing well. He was getting his teammates involved. Everything was good. He got man of the match for that Everton game, which I was very happy about. Next game against Newcastle at home. We drew 0-0. He was dragged off the pitch, man, and he was visibly very, very unhappy because he wasn't playing that badly. And we had the chance to win and we needed a goal. So I was very confused as to why Erik ten Hag would take Ronaldo off. I understand that Rashford needed to come on that game, but in saying that, put all the strikers you can on. We need goal instinct. And we needed a goal. Anyway, with Ronaldo's experience and goal ambition, it confused me and it confused him. He was very, very upset when he came off. He was shaking his head. He was not happy at all, man. And you know what? That scoreline remained 0-0 till the very end. And we should have won that game. We had plenty of chances. We absolutely dominated Newcastle that second half. Just couldn't score. And you know what? Who knows? Who knows what would have happened if Ronaldo stayed on. Then came the Spurs game, which led to the atomic bomb going off in the last week. Ronaldo was not starting. Put on the bench again in what was our best performance of the season, Manchester United's best performance of the season. It was absolutely phenomenal. And I get where Erik ten Hag is coming from. But with the World Cup coming up, Ronaldo wants to see game time, which is normal. Being one of the all-time greats, and definitely in the GOAT discussion and conversation, it's him and Messi in a league of their own, in this era, because I don't like comparing eras. Ronaldo right now is feeling embarrassed, confused, angry, disappointed, frustrated, all the above. And as the game is going on, the cameras are panning to him. CR7, you can see every time he makes a facial expression, he's getting more anxious, more upset. It's just all about Ronaldo, especially the media making it all about him. Reports were saying that Ronaldo was asked to go off the pitch with a couple of minutes left. He refused to go on and walk down the tunnel, as we saw. That's all true. Was Ronaldo's actions wrong? Yes, absolutely. Could he have handled it differently? Yes. Did Ronaldo have a right to feel disrespected? And with all the information I just have given you, in my opinion, I can completely understand where he's coming from. Now, Erik ten Hag banished him for the Chelsea game, suspended him. He's not eligible to play. He wasn't eligible to play in the 1-1 draw. Erik ten Hag has absolutely transformed this club back into winning ways, man. After a very tough start, those two first losses were huge, where he got belted. Brighton and Brentford. Can't forget those ones. They were shocking. But after a very rough start, he's been ruthless and he's stuck to his guns and it's working, man. We're winning. We're playing very well and it's amazing. Now, Erik ten Hag has never had the experience of working with someone of CR7's reputation and legacy and ego. So Erik ten Hag is also learning how to deal with this stuff as well. They both are. Ronaldo, on the flip side, has never had this in his whole footballing career in this position. So I believe Erik ten Hag could have handled things differently as well. But in Ten Hag's mind, all he cares about at this point is winning, and I don't mind that at all. All I want for Ten Hag is also to review the situation, that understand what Ronaldo is going through right now. So I think both of them, there's always two sides to this stuff, man. And it's all up here. They both need to figure it out. The media rats are trying to bring Ronaldo down, man. Every website after all this shit happened. You got to see it. It's just crazy. And it's a big story for them, so whatever. That they're just doing their job. But Ronaldo's legacy is already cemented, man. I really hope that in January he can find a club that he's happy at, because I don't believe this will work out anymore after all this shit. I think there's too much damage there, and this needs to end. And even though my heart would love Ronaldo to stay, man, I think it's better that he leaves, because I don't see this stuff changing. Who knows? It might. Erik ten Hag they might make up, which I'm sure they will to a degree, but it will just be strictly professional and all business. But man, there you have it. That's the Cristiano Ronaldo situation at the moment. I definitely see Ronaldo's side. I see Ten Hag's side. And man, the last couple of games we have played brilliantly. And I don't give in to that bullshit that, oh, we're better without Ronaldo and this and that. It's just garbage, man. That's just a false narrative right there. Ronaldo, I fucking love him and I want him to play. But after seeing what's transpired, and I just can't see this resolving in a good way. I think they need to both make amends. See you later. And Ronaldo can join a club where he can start regularly. In saying that, man, starting, Jadon Sancho. I would much rather Ronaldo be starting in place of Sancho at the moment. He has been quite awful in the last few games. He's done nothing. Provided nothing. I don't know what it is about him, man. He is very, very scared to take on a player. He just needs some sort of imagination and fantasy. Little plug there. But seriously, he does. He fucking needs something, man. Just a good slap in the face. Just be like, man, you have all this talent and you're not doing absolutely anything with it. He's giving the ball away. His first touch is shocking. I don't know what's going on with him. But I've never been convinced on Sancho. If you've watched the podcast, I still am not convinced on him. He was fantastic in Germany at Borussia Dortmund. Got a lot of assists, goals. But man, since he got to United, there hasn't been much there. And I don't know what it is, but it looks like he's almost afraid to try things. And man, with Ronaldo, he's probably seeing this and being like, what the fuck, man? Why am I sitting here? Anyway, that Chelsea game the other day, man, we dominated that first half. And even to a degree, the second half, we played very well. We're moving the ball fantastically. Everyone's playing for each other. It's very exciting. We were tremendous against Spurs. That was the best I've seen United play in a long time, man. But it's trending well. We're playing well. And it's going to be interesting now to see Ronaldo come back into this side. How are the players going to feel? How's Ronaldo going to feel? How's management going to feel? And the fans. And the best way for me right now, till January, till something can get sorted out. If I was Ten Hag, if you're not going to start him, at least give him at least 30 minutes or something, man. Don't disrespect him by giving him 1 minute. That was what I was going to get to as well. With the Man City thing, he stated that, he didn't want to disrespect Ronaldo by bringing him on in that game. But then he wanted to bring him on for 1 minute. The disrespect is both ways. It's like, come on, man. I do see it from, team mentality, just do the job, blah, 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 blah. But with all that build-up and all that thing happening, Ronaldo's feeling offended here. You can just see it. I've followed him my whole career, man. I know what he's like. The guy's a killer. He's got a killer mentality. He wants to be the best. And, man, I think he would have thought that was an absolute slap in the face, getting asked to come on right at the end, especially thinking back to the Man City game and the reasons for him not coming on there. So, look, man, it goes both ways. I completely understand Ronaldo. I completely understand Erik ten Hag. I just hope that they can figure it out and find some neutral ground, man. But that's all that I've got to say about that. Let's see what happens. Let's get into the latest EPL results on the ladder, guys. West Ham won 2-0. They're in some decent form last couple of games. Aston Villa, Steven Gerrard got sacked. They smashed Brentford 4-0. Leeds lost at home, which puts them under the pump against Fulham. So they're right in relegation now. We're a third of the way through the season. Arsenal dropped some points to Southampton, which we're going to talk about Arsenal in a second. Leicester back to winning ways, 4-0 against Wolves. Newcastle with an upset over Spurs. Huge 2-1 win. Fantastic to see them up and about, man. They're in the top 4. Everton won 3-0. Big win for them and their confidence. They're doing much better than last season, in my opinion. Man City, cruisy win, 3-1. United and Chelsea 1-1, which I loved Casemiro's celebration in that equaliser. I really thought that game was over. And Nottingham beat Liverpool 1-0. So Liverpool are struggling at the moment. Getting some weird results, leaking some goals. I don't know quite what's going on there. They've got a lot of injuries, which doesn't help. So I'm sure when they're fully fit, they'll be all right. But, man, they need to find something and something quick because their season is derailing a little bit in the Premier League. Arsenal, man. I've got to say, the Gunners, this will sound very strange, but I'm only comparing it to the energy and the momentum. They almost feel like Carlton in the AFL this season. Tremendous start to the season. A third of the way through, man, and they're on top. Clear at the moment. So, do I think they are a title contender? I'm going to say 100% yes. Because they are winning games they wouldn't have won last year. And that whole team energy and morale is just flying at the moment. The fans can feel it. They're up and about. Now, I do think Man City are still the team to beat. Overall, they are the best. But I truly think Arsenal can take it right to the death and anything can happen. If Man City get a couple of injuries, Arsenal stay fit, I don't know, man. And they are beating these teams that they wouldn't have last season, and that is massive. I mean, they've only lost one game in the Premier League, and that was to Manchester United away. It was at Old Trafford. So, there you have it, man. It's going to be a tight race. United, we're right up there as well. If you go back to the ladder, we're sitting in 5th with a game in hand over Newcastle and Tottenham. So, we can crack the top 4 as well, which is fantastic to see. I never would have thought this after the first 2 games of the season. Chelsea are in some fine form after their new manager has stepped in. And yeah, man, relegation battle pretty much as predicted there. So it's very interesting stuff, man. But Arsenal, everyone's cooking at the moment, man. Xhaka's even flying. You've got Jesus up front, Martinelli, Thomas Partey. Man, what a team. They are looking very good. Their defence is staying solid. Saliba. They've got Zinchenko. Man, they've a few little additions here and there, man. They're looking good. It's a very long season. And let's see what happens, man, with this World Cup situation that's going on. Like, there's a 6-week break or something like that. There's only a couple of Premier League games left before this massive break for the World Cup in Qatar. So it's going to be very, very interesting, man, what happens there when teams return. Let's see. Like Arsenal fans probably won't be too happy because their momentum is flying at the moment. So anyway, man, it is what it is. Let's see how we go. That's pretty much all I've got to say, man, about the Premier League. Now, over the past few weeks, I have promised you guys the lie. And the lie has been begging to make an introduction and to show what they're all about. I have no choice here. Lie, the lie. Take it away. Introduce yourself.
Listen here, you little cunts. I know that my brother has been talking a lot of shit about me. And that other idiot, Andrew Illy, you can get fucked too, you little cunt. I'm sick of all your bullshit and all your little fucking silly followers as well. I see the show. I see what you're talking. And there's one thing that I absolutely hate and I can't stand, and that's when you guys refer to me as a he. I'm not a fucking he. I identify as a lie. So you all can get fucked, and you'll be seeing a lot more of me, you little bitches. Right? Don't talk to me about AFL Football. Oh, I know how good that competition is. I watch it all the time. I'm one of the biggest fans. So don't tell me that they shouldn't be on the same money as the man. 'Cause you're all fucking talking shit. And I'll leave you with this. 'Cause I'll be here a lot and you'll be seeing me every week. I'm a lie. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it, you little punk ass bitch. Bye.
Wow. There you have it, man. I do apologise for all the language, but the lie is going to be a character on the show. The truth's brother. I can't even say it anymore. This is what it's come to, man. The lie will be reviewing some AFLW highlights from week to week, and the truth has promised to to come back next week, the return of the truth, and they might have a little argument here and there. Let's see what happens with those two. But that's pretty much it from me, guys. Thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for your patience. Of course, we have to plug our social medias before we go. This is Instagram, balloftruth.pod. Follow me on there, guys. Follow me also on Twitter. That's balloftruth_pod on Twitter. And of course, we've got to say thank you to our sponsors. SunnySideSliced.com.au is the website. Check them out. The best New York pizza in town, man. No more to say there. Guys, I'm going to wrap it there. I hope you enjoyed the show. And, man, we're going to review some more Premier League after this weekend. And we'll get into some funny business also in the next episode. But I love you all. Thank you very much again for joining me. And adios. Goodbye.